My name is Kenny Nowotniak. I'm a 19-year-old guitarist. I listen to a lot of heavy metal music. I was raised Roman Catholic, and I'm doing this genre piece to investigate the relationship between the two. As a young child, I was always discouraged from listening to it by my mother, but my dad always listened to it. Um, just some background information. I'm a private in the Army. I play guitar in my spare time. I listen to a lot of Metallica, a lot of old school metal. I also listen to some new stuff like Five Finger Death Punch and a few others. So I'm going to interview a bunch of people, see what their views are on everything, and then I'm also going to interview a couple people who don't listen to heavy metal, who find it controversial to the Christian belief structure.
Background kind of affected how I listen to music because, with heavy metal, it's more of an extreme music and lyrical content, so you kind of want to hide that from your parents or your siblings or whoever is also in that religious group. Like, I grew up in a Jewish household, and that stuff was just, don't even bring it up. So, I mean, for me, it was under the radar. But as I grew more comfortable with it, and once it became more of a part of me, then I'd be more open about it. So, didn't affect it too much in the beginning, maybe, but nowadays it's just music.
My name is Jad Sue. I'm from Wilmington, North Carolina, and I'm a college student, and also I'm in the Army National Guard. I was raised in a household where my mom was Episcopal and my dad was actually a Muslim, but they were never really strict religiously, so I was allowed to listen to whatever I wanted. So religion never really played a big factor in my music selection because my parents really didn't mind whatever it was that I was listening to. They wanted me to be open-minded and really be my own person and listen to what I wanted to and experience the things that I wanted to. For me, the music was really just a release and something for enjoyment, so I never really took it too literally. Good music is good music in my opinion. And a lot of, even the stuff with the darker undertones just didn't really affect me. I enjoyed, like, if something had a really good guitar riff. For me, my three favorite bands are probably Avenged Sevenfold, Era, and Of Mice and Men.
Shining city built of gold, a far cry from innocence. There's more than meets the eye around here. Look to the waters of the deep. A city of evil. There sat a seven-headed beast.
Hi, I'm Chris Nowotniak. I was born a Roman Catholic, originally from Buffalo, New York, and I say that because I'm influenced greatly by my faith, family, and by music, you could say. I grew up in a Roman Catholic, Christian-based home where values, especially our religious values, were everything. I grew up playing music. I started playing with guitar and piano at a young age of around 6 to 8. I started with classes and then I was self-taught because I didn't want to wait for the instructor to go on and on. I wanted to learn music. My background in music, my favorite bands as far as metal and what you would call heavy metal start with Ozzy Osbourne, Van Halen, and Metallica. I picked those three because those are the three that I most listen to. My perspective and how those work hand in hand with, I suppose, my faith, or how some people are opposed to listening to metal music, is I like and appreciate music for its quality. It just so happens that my favorite type music is classical. Most of the metal players and heavy metal players, such as Van Halen or Yngwie Malmsteen, also have a classical or piano background, So I am amazed or enamored by their ability to perform. Um, and Van Halen and Ozzy and Metallica are, in some instances, against Christianity. Some people may think it's satanic music or whatever. If you listen to Ozzy Osbourne, what he's saying at the beginning and end of a concert is God bless you to his audience. If you listen to metal groups such as Motley Crue, they're saying shout at the devil. They're not saying support it. Although there are some bands such as Slayer and a few that lyrically they can be misleading to their satanic tones, I don't think any of the metal music really wants people to go down that path. I think they produce music for enjoyment, for good listening, and to have good, clean fun. And that's my view on heavy metal music.
My mother gave me an interview, although she declined to do it on video. She told me that she did not like heavy metal music, mainly because she felt like it was violating her faith. She said that heavy metal music was a lot of the source of immorality, just like today we consider a lot of rap music to be immoral, against a lot of religious beliefs, because a lot of it teaches sexual impurities. It talks about doing drugs, doing alcohol, certain things like that, whereas metal music was a lot more laid back, more focused on, well, according to a lot of the artists, when I was doing my research, a lot of the artists said that they were doing it from the viewpoint of the sinner, how that played into them being fearful and what they were taught to fear as a kid going to Sunday school. They sang a lot about that. They said if it pisses people off, then they want it in their music. And my mother said that violated a lot of her faith, so she didn't like it. She didn't like the fact that I was listening to it. She was very uncomfortable with it. Most of my prime research came out of both Guy's book on identity. I'm mainly studying affinity identities, which studies two types of allegiances. You have your initial or primary allegiance, which would be of the fan to his heavy metal artist, and then you have your second allegiance, and this is just one identity of the fan. You have your second allegiance, which is from the fan to other fans. So it's more of a give and take relationship. In Christianity, you also have two allegiances. You have your allegiance to God, and then you have your allegiance to help your brothers and sisters in Christ, help them get around. Most of my research was based upon those two allegiances, and when I studied A Headbanger's Journey, which is a documentary done by a Canadian in 2005, when I studied that documentary, it goes over a lot of old school metal artists talking about how one identity affected the other.